Despite the weather, us Brits love a convertible. Hot or cold, sunny or cloudy, there's just something about driving around with the roof off that we can't get enough of. I've been spending time with the Mazda MX-5 RF, come rain and occasional, very occasional shine. I've done over 5,000 miles across the country, crammed more than I thought possible into the 127 litre boot, and even tried to move house with it. Turns out you can fit 6 cases of wine in the passenger seat and footwell. So how have I got on with the MX-5 RF over the past 6 months? And is it the car for you too? It's nimble, it changes direction quickly, it has accurate and well-weighted steering, and overall it is just fabulous to drive. Heading out into the countryside with the roof down on a nice day is where the Mazda MX-5 RF and me are happiest. But even when you're stuck in traffic or pootling along the motorway, it is never a chore. The suspension is softer than you might expect, so it soaks up big speed bumps quite happily and feels quite settled on uneven surfaces. If you think that having a little sports car like this means being jolted all over the place, you will be pleasantly surprised. Beauty may be in the eye of the beholder, but the hardtop MX-5 RF looks great roof up or down. Strangers and friends have called it the Batmobile, sexy, handsome, curvy, fierce and mean. Although the cockpit is still closed in with the roof down, you don't lose too much in open air thrills either. Refinement is one of the main reasons people would opt for the hardtop RF over the softtop MX-5, but there is a lot of roof up wind noise going on. It starts at moderate speeds and just gets louder the faster you go, and you can forget about having a Bluetooth call on the motorway. Twice during my 6 months with the MX-5 RF, I had to get the jump leads out for a flat battery. I hadn't driven the car for a bit over a week on one occasion and 2 weeks on the other. Looking at online forums, it seems I'm not the only one that's had this problem either. I asked the Mazda call-out man if I needed to get it looked at by a dealer, but he said that this would happen if I left it for a week or more without driving. I know you don't buy an MX-5 if you've got a huge family or dogs or luggage or things, but a few extra bits to help with comfort would help. The steering wheel only adjusts for height and not reach, so unless you're blessed with longish arms, you will be stretching a bit. There's also not a huge amount of adjustability in the seats, so getting really comfy might be a bit tricky. And those over 6 foot are going to be struggling for head and leg room too, unless you always drive with the roof down, of course. Right, this is where I talk value for money, give you the rundown of everything I've had fitted to my MX-5 RF, and pick the must-haves if you're thinking of buying one for yourself. Colour-wise, there is nothing garish. This is the jet black mica, which costs £550, but it's a bit of a nightmare to keep clean. So unless you really enjoy spending time with a bucket and sponge, I wouldn't recommend it. The only colour that won't cost you extra is Arctic White. So I'd do what the vast majority of buyers do and splurge £670 on the Soul Red metallic paint, which looks great. Or the blue Reflex mica looks almost as good for £550. There are only 2 engine options in the RF. This is the 1.5 litre petrol with 131 horsepower, or there's a more powerful 2 litre petrol with 160 horsepower. Yes, this engine is 1.2 seconds slower to get from the 0 to 62 time, but it's cheaper to buy and run, and you'll still have plenty of fun in it. It's brisk if you give it a bit of welly, and it sounds great roof up or down. The official fuel economy figure for the 1.5 is 46.3 miles per gallon. I've averaged about 44.5, which I'm pretty impressed with. When it comes to picking a trim, apart from the limited edition RFs, you've got 2 options: SEL nav and this, the top of the range Sport Nav. SEL nav gets you the likes of a 7-inch colour touchscreen, DAB radio, Bluetooth connectivity, cruise control, proper aircon, and of course a sat nav. Above that, Sport Nav gets you bits including a premium Bose sound system including headrest speakers, heated seats, which are really handy if you're like me and have the roof down anytime it's not raining, rear parking sensors, and a lane departure warning system. In terms of optional extras, other than paint, you can get a safety pack if you've got the more powerful engine, or a Napa or sand leather seat trim. So we would save our pennies. When it comes to MX-5 RF rivals, well, there aren't really any direct ones. The Fiat 124 Spider is practically the same car. And after that, you're looking at an entry-level Audi TT, Mini Convertible, or a Toyota GT86 if you want something new. Used, you could check out the Mini Roadster or a Toyota MR2. But if you're after a small, fun, affordable sports car that is fabulous to drive and will put a smile on your face, the Mazda is the one. Just don't leave it more than a couple of weeks between drives, or you might find yourself getting those jump cables out.